You look at me.
About 3 months ago, I was at work, and I've worked at the same job that I have always had for 21 years. I never took a sick day for myself in 21 years, for maybe my kids or a death in the family, but I never really was sick, never took a sick day. And about 3 months ago, I was at work, and all of a sudden, I felt like I was gonna just pass out. Now, I've never passed out in my life, so I'm not sure that I knew, what passing out was, but it was like there was no question. Like everything started to go dark and sink in. And I put my head down, and I remember saying to my coworkers, wow, this is so weird. So I drank a lot of water. I tried to hydrate. I made it through the day. I went home. The next day I went back to work. Same exact thing. I felt a little funny driving to work. Like I just felt like a little maybe foggy in my head, and I was thinking, am I getting some kind of weird flu or something? And I felt like I was gonna pass out. So the nurse at work wouldn't let me drive home. I had to call my mother, my 80-year-old mother, to come and pick me up at work. She drove me home, and from that day, all of a sudden my brain, and it's not dizziness where like the world is spinning, but just became so foggy, and my balance was off, and all of a sudden out of nowhere I couldn't even walk from my bed to the bathroom without holding on to the wall, or I was afraid to even like turn over in bed. That's how like severe it was. I went to the hospital because I thought maybe I'm having a stroke or something. They did an MRI. They did an MRI with contrast. They couldn't find anything. They sent me home, and they said it's probably a virus in your ear. Okay, and that it'll clear up in a week. Well, it just got worse and worse and worse. Then I started getting severe diarrhea. And when I say severe, that I couldn't make it the 3 feet from my bed to the bathroom. I had to throw away pants, I had to throw away underwear. It was uncontrollable. Then I started vomiting. So I had all of these things. I went back to the doctor. I had another MRI. I had an MRI with contrast. I had a CAT scan. They sent me to the gastroenterologist because the symptoms were just so severe. I couldn't keep any food in, couldn't keep any liquid in, any volume. Just whatever I drank just came shooting out of me. After I had the colonoscopy, it showed a lot of severe damage to my esophagus and throughout my colon. And when I woke up from the colonoscopy, I remember the doctor said, oh, the bad news is that, you have all these damage. I'm going to send you home with pictures. But the good news is that I think it's from colitis, and we can treat this. But we just have to wait for the pathology to come back, and then we'll start treating it. Well, a week later, I'm still home, not driving, living in my dark little bedroom, just miserable. And the gastroenterologist called and said, it's not colitis. Okay. And I said, well, and he said, but there's a lot of damage. And I said, okay, what can we do? And he's like, I don't know what the cause is. You can have another GI barium test. He started scheduling all these other tests. Well, when I called the radiologist to schedule those, he said, you can't have that. You've had nuclear testing, you've had barium, you've had all this stuff in your system. Your kidneys are going to get destroyed now. So you have to wait like another month. In the meantime, I was incapable of going to work. I was home from work for 3 months. 21 years, not a single sick day, and I'm home from work for 3 months, unable to eat, unable to walk 3 feet further from my bathroom. It was terrible. And then my mom finally said, I know I've heard of this woman, and she has a nutrition center. We're desperate. Let's try it. Well, I was desperate. I came here, and I thought I had it in my mind. It was so, like, my mom had to drive me, first of all, because I'm not driving. And I just thought it was kind of like, being so sick, and then you order shark cartilage from Mexico because you're desperate. And I thought, this woman is going to probably try to sell me 10 million supplements, and that's how she makes money, and it's all just BS. But I came here because I didn't have another avenue to turn to, and I had no life left. Even my dog, which is my favorite thing in the world, I didn't have my dog for 2 months. My friend had to take him because I couldn't walk him. So it's like, just being lonely at your house, so sick. Anyway, I came here. They did all kinds of testing, and some things came up on the testing, like the left side of my tooth, my left eye, and Dina said, you have to go to the dentist, you have to go to the optometrist, you have to get these things checked out. In addition, I'm going to give you, things to help your gut. A lot of things flashed up. So I left here. I called my dentist, and that I've known for a long time, and he fit me in, and he freaked out and said, you have a horrible, horrible infection in your tooth. I can't believe you have no pain. He said it's filled with bacteria, and I just didn't. So he rushed me in, got me a fast appointment with the doctor, and they did a root canal, and even that doctor couldn't believe that I didn't have pain. He said, this is horrific. I got an emergency appointment with an optometrist. I didn't tell him anything. He checked everything, and he said, your left eye is completely has way too much pressure than it should, and the only thing we can do is go in with a needle and remove fluid, or we can try to wait 4 weeks because your eyes and your nerves are connected in your body, and it may be something else. Let's wait 4 weeks. At that point, I told him I was having all these other issues. In the meantime, it was horrific just to even go to the dentist or the optometrist, because I had such gastro issues with the diarrhea that I just didn't even think I was going to make it through those appointments. It was horrific. Anyway, I started following the regimen that was suggested by Dina, some GI shakes and some other supplements. And 2 days later, I woke up and like my brain felt clearer. And every single day since then, it got clearer and clearer, and the diarrhea, 100% gone. I mean, the gastro guy told me to take 6 Imodium a day until I could get these other tests. I haven't taken a single Imodium. It is completely gone. I've had it for 3 months where I couldn't even walk to my mailbox. Completely gone. When I came in here that day, I was so sick, and I can't explain what it feels like now to have my mind back. Like, I could think, I can walk. I actually drove here. I haven't driven a car for 3 months. And I just was a non-believer when I came here. I had been given so many medications ordered by different doctors. Just steroids and this and that. So I believed when they gave me those, like, this is gonna help. This is gonna help me. I bought that, said this is gonna help, and it didn't help. And here's the one thing that I didn't believe was going to help me. And I can't even describe what it feels like to get my life back. I was destitute. I didn't think I was gonna even make it back to my job. I just didn't know what to do.
Wow.